Have you ever been in a situation where someone's subtle gestures told you more than their words ever could? Maybe a slight tilt of the head, a fleeting smile, or how they crossed their arms left you wondering what they really meant. It happened to me just the other day when I misread someone's body language and completely misunderstood their intentions. It got me thinking, how much can we actually learn from non-verbal communication? In today's video, we're diving deep into these fascinating clues hidden in our everyday interactions. The hidden power of body language in everyday interactions. Body language is a silent yet incredibly powerful form of communication. Research suggests that up to 93% of human communication is non-verbal, which includes gestures, facial expressions, posture, and even subtle micro-movements we often don't notice consciously. Think about the last time someone smiled warmly at you, leaned in slightly during a conversation, or crossed their arms defensively. Each of these small actions told you something important about their mood, intentions, or attitude, without a single word being spoken. One of the most fascinating aspects of body language is its universality. For example, a genuine smile, known as a Duchenne smile, that involves the muscles around the eyes is recognized as a sign of happiness across all cultures. Similarly, crossed arms often signal discomfort, defensiveness, or the need for personal space. These universal patterns show how deeply body language is embedded in human behavior and evolution. However, body language doesn't just communicate emotions, it also shapes them. This is known as the feedback loop. For instance, adopting a confident posture, standing tall with shoulders back and head held high, can make you feel more confident internally. This phenomenon, supported by psychological studies, highlights how our actions and emotions are interconnected. But interpreting body language is not always straightforward. Context matters. For example, a person crossing their arms could be cold rather than defensive. Similarly, someone avoiding eye contact might simply be shy, not necessarily dishonest. This is where observing clusters of behaviors becomes crucial. Rather than focusing on one isolated gesture, look for patterns that align with the situation. Body language can also be a key tool in improving relationships. Whether in romantic, professional, or social contexts, understanding and mirroring another person's nonverbal cues can create a sense of connection and trust. For example, leaning slightly forward when someone is speaking signals interest and engagement, which can make the other person feel valued and understood. In everyday life, the power of body language often goes unnoticed. But once you begin to understand its significance, you'll start to see how much of human interaction relies on these unspoken signals. From reading emotions to influencing your own mindset, body language offers a fascinating window into the human experience. How gestures reveal true intentions without words. Gestures are a powerful, yet often overlooked aspect of human communication. Every movement, no matter how small, has the potential to convey deeper truths about a person's emotions, thoughts, or intentions. The beauty of gestures lies in their spontaneity. They occur without conscious thought, which is why they can reveal what words might conceal or distort. Imagine this scenario. You're in a conversation with someone who says they're happy for your success, but their body leans slightly away, their arms are crossed, and their smile doesn't quite reach their eyes. These subtle gestures can contradict their words, leaving you to wonder about their sincerity. This is the power of non-verbal cues. They bypass the conscious filter of spoken language and offer a direct line to what a person might truly feel. Gestures work in a fascinating way because they are rooted in human evolution. Before language existed, early humans relied on gestures to communicate. For instance, pointing to an object or mimicking an action were critical ways of conveying needs or warnings. Even today, gestures like pointing, waving, or shrugging are universally understood, transcending language barriers. However, there are also cultural nuances. For example, a thumbs up is a positive gesture in many Western cultures, but can carry different meanings in others. Understanding these differences is key to decoding gestures accurately. Micro-expressions and small gestures often carry the most weight in revealing true intentions. For instance, when someone tells a lie, their body might unconsciously betray them with a quick touch to the face, a slight fidget, or avoiding eye contact. These are not always definitive signs, but when combined with the context of the situation, they can provide valuable insights. Research shows that even trained professionals like law enforcement officers rely heavily on body language to detect dishonesty or hidden emotions. Gestures also reflect a person's emotional state. Open gestures, such as hands spread apart while speaking or arms relaxed at the sides, suggest openness and confidence. In contrast, closed gestures, like crossing arms or avoiding physical space, often signal defensiveness or discomfort. These movements are automatic responses to how a person feels in a given moment, making them incredibly reliable indicators of emotional truth. Interestingly, gestures not only reveal emotions but can also influence them. This concept is known as embodied cognition. For example, adopting open and expansive gestures can make a person feel more powerful and assertive, while closed and restrictive gestures might make them feel less confident. Studies have shown that people who use broad gestures during presentations or discussions are perceived as more persuasive and authoritative than those who remain still or use limited hand movements. The role of gestures in interpersonal relationships cannot be overstated. In romantic settings, subtle gestures such as mirroring another person's movements or lightly touching their hand convey warmth and attraction without needing words. Similarly, in professional environments, a firm handshake, consistent eye contact, and controlled hand movements can establish trust and authority. Understanding and interpreting gestures requires observation, patience, and context. One isolated gesture might not mean much on its own, but when combined with other signals, it can provide a clear picture of someone's intentions or emotional state. For example, a person might cross their arms because they're cold, not because they're defensive. Observing the entire setting and grouping gestures together is essential for accurate interpretation. In conclusion, gestures are a window into the human psyche, often revealing what lies beneath the surface. They offer insights into authenticity, emotional truth, and even subconscious thoughts. By learning to read and interpret these silent signals, we can enhance our ability to connect with others, navigate complex interactions, and uncover the hidden layers of human behavior. Decoding romantic signals through nonverbal cues. Romantic attraction often speaks louder through actions than words. Nonverbal cues play a crucial role in signaling interest, affection, and connection, often revealing what someone feels before they even say a word. Understanding these cues can help you navigate romantic relationships with greater clarity and confidence. One of the most recognizable signs of romantic interest is mirroring. When someone subconsciously imitates your movements, crossing their legs when you do, taking a sip of their drink as you take yours, or matching your tone of voice, it's often a sign they feel connected to you. This behavior is rooted in the brain's mirror neuron system, which helps us empathize and bond with others. In romantic settings, mirroring serves as a subtle yet powerful signal of alignment and mutual attraction. Eye contact is another key element of nonverbal romantic communication. Sustained eye contact can create an intense sense of intimacy and connection. Studies show that when two people gaze into each other's eyes for an extended period, their heart rates can even synchronize. This phenomenon is often referred to as the spark or chemistry. However, it's not just about duration. Pupil dilation is another telling sign. When someone is attracted to you, their pupils naturally enlarge, a response controlled by the autonomic nervous system. Body orientation is another significant indicator of romantic interest. When someone is engaged or attracted, their body often faces directly toward the person they're interested in. This alignment signals undivided attention and openness. Additionally, leaning in during a conversation not only shows interest, but also reduces physical space, creating a sense of closeness. Touch is one of the most powerful non-verbal cues in romantic interactions. A light touch on the arm, a playful nudge, or even brushing hands can communicate interest and affection. Research has shown that touch releases oxytocin, often called the love hormone, which enhances feelings of closeness and trust. However, context and cultural norms play a significant role in how touch is interpreted. In some cultures, physical contact is more common and casual, while in others, it carries deeper romantic significance. Facial expressions also provide insight into romantic feelings. A genuine smile, also known as a Duchenne smile, which involves both the mouth and the eyes, is a classic sign of happiness and attraction. Similarly, a slight lift of the eyebrows, known as the eyebrow flash, is a subtle and universal signal of interest. Even tilting the head slightly to one side while listening indicates attentiveness and openness. Feet position might seem like an odd detail, but it's surprisingly telling. People often unconsciously point their feet towards someone they are attracted to. If you're in a group setting and notice someone's feet consistently directed toward you, it's a strong sign of interest. Similarly, crossed legs with the top knee pointing towards someone can indicate attraction and focus. It's also worth noting that non-verbal romantic signals are not always intentional. Many of these behaviors happen unconsciously, making them more reliable indicators than spoken words. However, interpreting these cues requires context and careful observation. For example, leaning in could indicate attraction, but it might also just mean the person is having trouble hearing in a noisy room. Similarly, prolonged eye contact might reflect interest, but it could also be a cultural norm or a sign of deep focus in conversation. In romantic settings, the key to decoding nonverbal cues is observing patterns rather than isolated behaviors. A combination of open body language, consistent eye contact, touch, and mirroring is a strong indicator of attraction. However, it's also essential to communicate openly. While nonverbal signals can hint at romantic feelings, direct conversation ensures clarity and prevents misinterpretation. Romantic nonverbal communication is an intricate dance, where subtle movements and gestures reveal unspoken emotions. By learning to recognize and respond to these cues, you can deepen connections, build trust, and enhance your ability to navigate the complexities of attraction. Understanding confidence through posture and movement. Confidence is often spoken of as an internal quality, but it manifests powerfully through posture and movement. Our body is a mirror of our emotions, and how we carry ourselves can speak volumes about our self-assurance, or lack thereof, before we even utter a word. Understanding how posture and movement reveal confidence can help not only in interpreting others, but also in boosting your own presence in social, professional, and personal settings. The foundation of confident body language is posture. A confident individual typically stands tall, with their shoulders relaxed but not slouched, their chest slightly lifted, and their head held high. This stance conveys both self-respect and an openness to engage with the world. In contrast, slumped shoulders, a downward gaze, or a hunched back can signal insecurity, anxiety, or lack of self-esteem. Research shows that people who adopt upright postures are perceived as more competent, reliable, and approachable, even in the absence of verbal communication. Movement also plays a crucial role in projecting confidence. Confident individuals tend to move with purpose and control. Their gestures are deliberate, not hurried or erratic. For example, walking with a steady and balanced pace while making eye contact with others exudes assurance. Conversely, fidgeting, shuffling feet, or avoiding direct eye contact can indicate nervousness or discomfort. Interestingly, practicing confident movements, even if you don't feel confident internally, can help change your mindset, a phenomenon often referred to as fake it till you make it. One of the most telling signs of confidence is how individuals occupy space. Confident people aren't afraid to claim their space, whether by standing tall, using expansive gestures, or positioning themselves centrally in a room. This is known as power posing. Studies by social psychologists have shown that adopting open, expansive poses can increase feelings of power and reduce stress. For example, standing with hands on hips and feet slightly apart, often called the Superman stance, can make you feel and appear more assertive. Eye contact is another critical element. Confident people maintain steady eye contact during conversations, signaling attentiveness and self-assurance. This doesn't mean staring, which can be perceived as aggressive, but rather engaging in a natural rhythm of looking and occasionally glancing away. Avoiding eye contact, on the other hand, often conveys uncertainty or a lack of confidence. However, cultural differences should be considered, as norms around eye contact can vary. Facial expressions also play a role. A confident person typically has a relaxed yet alert facial expression. A slight, genuine smile can make you appear approachable while maintaining an aura of self-assuredness. Tightly clenched jaws or furrowed brows might signal stress or defensiveness, detracting from an overall confident appearance. Another subtle but impactful indicator of confidence is voice modulation, even though it isn't strictly body language. Confident people tend to speak in a steady, controlled tone, with clear articulation and a moderate pace. Combined with confident body movements, this creates a powerful overall impression. It's important to note that confidence through posture and movement is not about dominating others, but about presenting yourself as capable and self-assured. True confidence is balanced. It conveys strength without arrogance, openness without vulnerability. For example, offering a firm but not overly aggressive handshake is a classic way to project confidence in professional and social settings. Interestingly, body language doesn't just reflect confidence, it can create it. This concept, known as embodied cognition, suggests that our physical actions influence our mental state. Standing tall or adopting confident gestures can trigger a psychological response that boosts your sense of self-assurance. This is why athletes, performers, and public speakers often use power poses or confident stances before stepping into the spotlight. Ultimately, understanding confidence through posture and movement is a two-way street. Observing these cues in others can provide insights into their emotional state and approach to life. At the same time, being mindful of your own posture and movements can help you project and even cultivate the confidence you wish to embody. The role of body language in building emotional connections. Body language is an essential yet often underestimated tool in creating and deepening emotional connections. It transcends spoken words, allowing people to convey empathy, trust, and understanding through subtle cues and gestures. In many cases, body language communicates feelings more authentically than words ever could. Learning to recognize and effectively use nonverbal cues can transform the way we connect with others, whether in friendships, romantic relationships, or professional settings. One of the most powerful ways body language fosters emotional connections is through mirroring. This phenomenon occurs when two individuals unconsciously mimic each other's movements, gestures, or postures. For example, if one person leans forward during a conversation, the other might naturally do the same. Mirroring is a subconscious way of saying, "I'm on the same page as you," creating a sense of harmony and mutual understanding. Research shows that when mirroring occurs, it often leads to stronger rapport and trust between individuals. Another crucial element of body language in emotional bonding is touch. A gentle pat on the back, a reassuring hand on the shoulder, or even a firm handshake can convey warmth, support, and trust. Touch is a primal form of communication that triggers the release of oxytocin, the so-called love hormone, which strengthens bonds and fosters feelings of closeness. However, the context is key. Unwanted or misplaced touch can have the opposite effect, causing discomfort or mistrust. Understanding cultural norms and personal boundaries is essential in using touch appropriately to enhance emotional connections. Eye contact is perhaps the most direct and impactful form of non-verbal communication. Maintaining steady eye contact signals attentiveness and interest, making the other person feel seen and valued. Prolonged eye contact during meaningful conversations can create an intense sense of intimacy, whether between friends, romantic partners, or even colleagues. However, the right balance is crucial. Too much eye contact can feel intimidating, while too little may come across as disinterest or avoidance. Open body language also plays a pivotal role in building emotional connections. Gestures such as uncrossed arms, relaxed shoulders, and an open stance signal approachability and willingness to engage. These cues make others feel comfortable and accepted, setting the stage for authentic interactions. Conversely, closed-off body language like crossed arms or a turned-away posture can create barriers and signal disinterest, even if that's not the intention. Micro-expressions, fleeting facial expressions that reveal true emotions, are another key aspect of body language. For example, a quick smile, a raised eyebrow, or a brief frown can provide insights into someone's emotional state. Recognizing and responding to these subtle cues can show empathy and attentiveness, strengthening emotional bonds. For instance, noticing a momentary look of concern and addressing it with kindness can make someone feel understood and supported. The way we use physical space, or proxemics, is also critical in emotional connection. Standing or sitting too far away can make an interaction feel distant, while being too close can feel intrusive. Striking the right balance helps establish comfort and trust. In close relationships, decreasing physical distance can convey intimacy and affection, while maintaining an appropriate distance in professional settings ensures respect and professionalism. Even the tempo and rhythm of movements contribute to emotional bonding. When two people are in sync, their body movements often align naturally, a phenomenon known as interactional synchrony. This alignment can happen in subtle ways, like walking at the same pace or nodding in rhythm during a conversation. Such synchronization enhances feelings of unity and mutual understanding. Importantly, body language doesn't just communicate emotions, it can also shape them. This is known as the feedback loop effect. Adopting open, positive body language can create a sense of emotional warmth and receptivity, making it easier to form genuine connections. For example, smiling not only signals happiness, but can also make you feel happier, further enhancing your ability to connect with others. In essence, body language is the silent language of connection. It bridges gaps that words often cannot, fostering empathy, trust, and mutual understanding. By becoming more aware of your own nonverbal signals and learning to interpret those of others, you can cultivate deeper, more meaningful relationships in every aspect of your life. Subtle signs that speak louder than words. Subtle nonverbal cues often carry more weight in communication than spoken words. These understated signals, small gestures, fleeting facial expressions, or slight shifts in body posture can reveal emotions, intentions, or thoughts that words may obscure or fail to express. Mastering the art of reading and interpreting these subtle signs can enhance your understanding of others and improve your ability to connect on a deeper, more intuitive level. One of the most fascinating aspects of subtle nonverbal cues is their authenticity. Unlike words, which can be consciously crafted or manipulated, these small signals often occur subconsciously. This makes them a reliable indicator of true feelings or intentions. For example, someone might verbally express confidence while their fidgeting hands or tapping feet reveal underlying anxiety or doubt. Similarly, a fleeting micro-expression of anger or sadness might emerge before the person regains composure, offering a glimpse into their unspoken emotions. Eye behavior is a key area where subtle signals can provide profound insights. While maintaining steady eye contact often indicates confidence or interest, subtle variations can change the entire context. A quick glance away might signal discomfort or a desire to disengage, while repeated looks toward a specific object or person could indicate focus or attraction. Additionally, the direction and frequency of someone's gaze can hint at what they are prioritizing or avoiding in a conversation. Micro-expressions, which are brief, involuntary facial expressions, offer another window into hidden emotions. These expressions, lasting only a fraction of a second, often reveal a person's true feelings before they consciously mask them. For example, a quick furrow of the brows or a fleeting tightening of the lips can signal frustration, even if the person maintains a composed demeanor. Learning to spot and interpret these micro-expressions can provide a significant advantage in understanding what someone is truly experiencing. Posture and body orientation are also telling subtle cues. A slight lean towards someone suggests interest and engagement, while a lean away may indicate discomfort or disinterest. Similarly, the angle of a person's torso relative to others can reveal who they are most focused on in a group setting. Crossed legs or arms might suggest defensiveness, but the context, such as a cold room or a comfortable resting position, must also be considered to avoid misinterpretation. Another subtle yet powerful signal is the tone and pace of speech. While not strictly part of body language, vocal cues often complement nonverbal signals. A change in pitch, hesitation in speech, or a quieter tone can indicate nervousness or uncertainty. Conversely, a steady, measured voice often reflects confidence and control. Pauses between words or sentences can also be revealing, signaling either careful thought or hesitation. Touch, when used sparingly and appropriately, can convey nuanced emotions. A light pat on the back or a gentle squeeze of the hand often carries more emotional weight than words alone. These small gestures can communicate empathy, support, or reassurance in ways that verbal expressions may struggle to achieve. However, touch is deeply influenced by cultural norms and personal comfort levels, making it essential to be mindful of context. Even feet and hand movements, often ignored, are rich sources of subtle communication. For example, tapping fingers might indicate impatience, while tightly clasped hands can signal tension. Similarly, feet that point away from someone might suggest a desire to leave the interaction, while feet directed towards someone often reflect interest and attention. These seemingly minor details often go unnoticed, but can profoundly affect how we interpret others. Importantly, subtle nonverbal cues are not isolated. They often occur in clusters. For instance, a person leaning slightly forward with relaxed shoulders and consistent eye contact likely signals interest and engagement. However, if that same person is fidgeting with their hands or glancing away frequently, the message may become more ambiguous. Observing these cues in context and as part of a broader pattern is key to accurate interpretation. Understanding subtle signs is a skill that requires practice, patience, and keen observation. While these signals may seem small or inconsequential, they often speak volumes about a person's emotional state, intentions, and level of comfort. By tuning into these cues, you can develop a deeper understanding of the people around you, fostering empathy, improving communication, and building stronger connections. The science behind open and engaging nonverbal communication. Open and engaging nonverbal communication is a cornerstone of building trust, fostering connections, and encouraging meaningful interactions. It goes beyond words, creating an unspoken dialogue that conveys approachability, sincerity, and confidence. Understanding the science behind these nonverbal cues can transform the way you communicate, making your interactions more effective and impactful. At the heart of open and engaging nonverbal communication lies the principle of openness. Open body language involves uncrossed arms, relaxed shoulders, and a stance or seating position that faces others directly. These cues signal that you are approachable, receptive, and interested in engaging. In contrast, closed body language, such as crossed arms, averted gazes, or turning away, can unintentionally communicate defensiveness, disinterest, or even hostility, creating barriers in communication. Facial expressions are another critical component. A genuine smile, also known as a Duchenne smile, which involves both the mouth and the eyes, is universally recognized as a sign of warmth and friendliness. This expression not only puts others at ease, but also triggers a reciprocal response, creating a positive feedback loop that fosters connection. In contrast, forced or insincere smiles can be detected easily and may lead to distrust or discomfort. Subtle expressions, like a slight eyebrow raise or a nod, further enhance engagement by signaling attentiveness and agreement. Eye contact is one of the most powerful tools for creating engagement. Maintaining consistent eye contact conveys confidence and attentiveness, making the other person feel valued and understood. However, it's essential to strike a balance. Excessive staring can feel intrusive, while too little eye contact may come across as disinterest or insecurity. Research has shown that the ideal amount of eye contact is about 60 to 70% of the interaction time, creating a sense of connection without overwhelming the other person. Hand gestures are another vital aspect of engaging nonverbal communication. Purposeful and open gestures, such as using hands to emphasize key points or gesturing outward when inviting someone into a conversation, signal enthusiasm and clarity. These movements help to reinforce verbal messages, making them more memorable and engaging. Conversely, fidgeting or overly dramatic gestures can distract from the message and diminish its impact. Physical proximity, or proxemics, also plays a significant role. The distance you maintain from others communicates your level of comfort, interest, and engagement. Standing or sitting too far away can make you seem detached, while being too close can invade personal space and cause discomfort. Understanding the appropriate distance for different contexts, whether it's a professional meeting or a personal conversation, is key to establishing rapport. For example, a distance of about 1.5 to 4 feet is typically considered ideal for personal interactions, while a greater distance is preferred in professional settings. Tone and voice modulation, while technically verbal, are deeply intertwined with nonverbal communication. An open, steady tone, combined with a moderate pace of speech, reflects confidence and helps maintain engagement. Variations in tone to emphasize key points further enhance the listener's focus and retention. On the other hand, a monotonous voice or rapid speech can make the interaction feel impersonal or rushed. Posture is another critical indicator of openness and engagement. Sitting or standing upright with a slightly forward-leaning position demonstrates interest and attentiveness. Slouching or leaning back excessively can convey disinterest or passivity. A strong yet relaxed posture not only projects confidence, but also encourages others to mirror your openness, fostering a sense of mutual respect. The science behind these nonverbal cues is grounded in human psychology and biology. For example, studies in mirror neurons have shown that when we observe someone displaying open and engaging body language, our brain mirrors these signals, creating a sense of connection and empathy. This is why open gestures and positive expressions are so effective. They activate a psychological response that fosters trust and cooperation. Understanding the cultural context is equally important. While many aspects of open and engaging communication are universal, certain gestures, expressions, or proximities may carry different meanings in different cultures. For instance, maintaining direct eye contact is seen as a sign of respect and attentiveness in many Western cultures, but might be perceived as confrontational in others. Being aware of these nuances ensures that your non-verbal communication is effective and culturally sensitive. Ultimately, mastering open and engaging non-verbal communication is about being authentic. People are naturally drawn to those who project sincerity, confidence, and warmth. By being mindful of your own body language and observing the responses of others, you can create interactions that are not only engaging, but also deeply meaningful. Non-verbal communication is a powerful tool that shapes our interactions in ways we often overlook. Whether it's a genuine smile, open body language, or subtle gestures, these silent signals speak volumes about who we are and how we connect with others. By becoming more aware of your own body language and learning to interpret the cues of those around you, you can build stronger, more meaningful relationships in every area of your life. Thank you for joining me today. Remember, the way you carry yourself can change the way the world responds to you. See you in the next video.